Hello fellow builder and welcome back. Today we're diving into another Mould King mini famous car. This time it's got that luxury super spy energy. We're talking about the Aston Martin DBS, set number 27063. At first glance this thing looks absolutely stunning, but looks can be deceiving. How well did Mould King really pull off this sleek machine? With a solid piece count for a speed champion sized build, there's plenty to dig into. Stick around and see if this mini DBS lives up to its legendary name. Before we zoom into the Aston Martin, let's take a quick look at the rest of Mould King's mini car lineup that dropped alongside the DBS. First up, the 27060 Porsche 911, a classic silhouette packing 389 pieces of smooth curves and speed. Next, the 27061 Apollo IE, with 325 pieces of pure exotic flair. And rounding out the trio, the 27062 BMW M1, boasting 411 pieces and that vintage racer attitude. If any of these caught your eye, I'll drop the links in the description so you can explore the full lineup yourself. Alright, the moment you've been waiting for. Let's take an in-depth look at the Aston Martin DBS. The modern Aston Martin DBS made its grand entrance June of 2018, stepping up as Aston's new flagship and taking over from the Vanquish S. Fast forward to 2023, and the DBS story reaches its peak with the DBS 770 Ultimate, a final limited run version that serves as the ultimate farewell to the model's bloodline. Owning one of these beauties doesn't come cheap. The 2023 DBS Coupe starts around $330,000 in the US, while the convertible bumps that up to about $350,000. But if you wanted the exclusive DBS 770 Ultimate, you were looking at around $418,000, and that's before options. Not that it matters anymore. The entire production run sold out fast. No matter the body style, the DBS doesn't mess around. It can hit an eye-watering 211 miles per hour, putting it right up there with true supercars. Under the sculpted hood sits Aston Martin's 5.2-liter twin-turbo V12, a hand-built masterpiece pushing out 715 horsepower. Step up to the 770 Ultimate, and those numbers climb to about 759 horsepower. A proper send-off for Aston's mighty V12. Despite being a grand tourer, the DBS launches like a supercar, 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 3.4 seconds. Depending on the version. Its power and grace rolled into one mean package. All that muscle goes to the rear wheels through an 8-speed automatic with a mechanical limited slip differential. It's the same system used in several high-performance GTs. Smooth when cruising, sharp when you're pushing it. Yes, this isn't just for the track, it's fully street legal. The DBS was built to conquer highways with the same ease it handles the racetrack. The 770 Ultimate follows suit. Road legal, but track ready. Thanks to an aluminum chassis and carbon fiber body panels, the DBS keeps its weight light for a V12 GT. The coupe tips the scales around 3,733 pounds, while the 770 Ultimate comes in closer to 4,068 pounds. The Volante adds just a touch more. The DBS isn't just fast, it's stable. At top speed, it produces about 397 pounds of downforce, the most of any Aston Martin road car at launch. That grip comes from clever aero touches, like the AeroBlade 2 system, curlicue vents, and an F1-style double diffuser, all wrapped up in sleek, aggressive styling. Aston Martin doesn't mass-produce DBS models. They prefer exclusivity. The final DBS 770 Ultimate was strictly limited to 499 units worldwide, 300 coupes and 199 Volantes. Every car even gets a numbered plaque inside to prove it. With that kind of power, stopping is just as important as going. The DBS comes standard with carbon ceramic brakes, offering huge stopping force while cutting down on unsprung weight. Think supercar-grade braking power on a GT body. The DBS shares its basic DNA with the DB11, but it's far more muscular, wider fenders, bolder vents, and a commanding stance that screams performance. The DBS 770 Ultimate marks the final chapter in the DBS saga, making it a collector's dream. And of course, the DBS name itself carries cinematic fame, appearing in several James Bond movies. If you know any other cool facts about the Aston Martin DBS, feel free to drop them in the comments. Before we get into the review, if you're enjoying this video and want to support the channel, please take a moment to hit the like button. It really helps the algorithm get this video to other passionate builders. Now let's see how the dimensions stack up against a LEGO Speed Champion and a Rio Brick set. Now the big question, does LEGO Rick fit inside the Aston Martin DBS? Yes, and there's enough headroom for his hat. Alright, let's talk presentation. By now it's pretty clear that Mould King has nailed the art of packaging for their mini car series. They go for a clean, minimalist vibe, but it works. Everything comes neatly tucked into a highly detailed embossed box. And yes, it includes their signature display case. Even the instructions feel premium. Small, sharp, and printed on quality paper that slides perfectly into the packaging without any fuss. So how about the design? Did Mould King manage to capture the spirit of the Aston Martin DBS? I think they did a pretty solid job. Any Aston Martin is very recognizable, especially with its spy movie reputation. The red with gold accents pops nicely, giving the car a sleek but bold look. Structurally it feels sturdy in hand, which is always a plus for display or play. There are some stickers for this set. They really help bring out the fine details and enhance the visual appeal. As for the build itself, I'd rate the difficulty at about a 3 out of 10. A smooth and straightforward experience that should take around 2 hours to complete. Now let's talk value. This set usually runs between $10 and $20, depending on where you pick it up. This means you're looking at a cost per piece as low as 2.9 cents. For a 354-piece set, that's a pretty good deal. If you're curious to check it out for yourself, I'll drop a link in the description. Now let's dive into the pieces. Mould King's brick quality really stands out. Each piece fits snugly with that crisp, satisfying click. The parts feel solid and durable, giving the entire build a premium, well-engineered feel from the very first connection to the final piece. The pink ice cream backlights are a bit unusual, but it's one extra thing that makes this set stand out. When it comes to grabbing these Speed Champion-sized mini cars, you've got a few solid places to start. I've personally ordered from Amazon and Bar Weir, and both experiences were smooth. Of course, each has its pros and cons. Amazon tends to be pricier, but you'll usually have your set on your doorstep in just a few days. Bar Weir, on the other hand, often has fantastic prices, but don't forget to factor in shipping and a wait time of about 2 to 3 weeks. In short, if I'm after speed, I go to Amazon. If I'm looking for savings and am ordering multiple sets, Bar Weir's is going to save me money. Just use your best judgment when shopping online. Let's talk entertainment value. The Aston Martin DBS was a genuinely fun build. The color scheme really pops, and a few clever connection techniques keep things interesting along the way. There are some one-stud connections sprinkled in, but nothing that causes frustration or slows you down. On the functionality side, the hood does open, though it can feel a little loose at times. Still, it's a nice touch for a set in this scale. And I have to say, I always enjoy seeing a mix of colorful interior pieces. It adds a little extra personality to the build experience, even if most of it gets covered up in the end. As for my overall rating of this Mould King set, I'd give the Aston Martin DBS a 4 out of 5 stars. This is a solid build and a good-looking set. Fellow builder, I hope you enjoyed this Mould King review, and if you've stayed this long, consider subscribing and maybe share this video. Also, check out the other videos on Rixburg's main page. Thank you, and until next time, keep building.